Welcome everyone, we've got a 2v2 SpellForce game here in the teal color. This is none other than Galactic playing as the trolls, and his ally in the red color playing as the dwarfs is Lusty. In the bottom we've got the other team. Mysterious Lantern is playing as the orcs, and in the green color lastly we have got Fallen playing as the dark elves. So this is gonna be pretty intense. I don't usually cast 2v2 games, but I don't usually get sent 2v2 games. In fact, I'm pretty sure the guys that send me replays usually don't play 2v2 games all that much. But I'm excited to see what happens. Oh, the warg is dead. But anyway, the four heroes are gonna be the Plaguebringer. We've got the Goblin Warlock, we've got the Reaper, and we've got the High Hierophant. Will be difficult to follow along for their skills, but we're gonna check around the time when it's level 3. The build orders all appear to be quite normal, with the triple stonecutter for the dwarves. I assume it's gonna be a double hunting cabin, or maybe it's a wood follow-up, we'll see. For the trolls, it's quad 3 chopper, I assume, with double stone and double hunt. That's what should be happening. And for the orcs, it's pretty much always 5 lumber mills and 2 hunting cabins. Not much variance there. Got a little bit of an engagement to begin with here, with the Smasher and the Plaguebringer potentially denying this clan standard. Very annoying for the Goblin Warlock to deal with, especially on his own, but we've got a bit of a teleportation from the Reaper to ward this off, which is extremely important to do. And with the help of the Spectre, which is still alive at this early point in the game, if you're careful, the Smasher might be actually picked off, but no, the teleport ends up saving them. By the way, SpellForce 3 is currently on a major Steam discount. You can get the bundle, I believe, like 80% off or something like that. It's extremely cheap for all the expansions combined. Yeah, you should go and get it. This is a very good time to start playing. The game is much improved since it originally launched in 2017. And the multiplayer is awesome. That's why I keep coming back to cover it. If there's more players, I might actually start streaming. Wait, this isn't the normal game. I just realized I'm talking about discounts here and whatever. I'll put that link in the description, by the way, for the Steam sale. But anyway, look at the amount of resources. This is not a normal game, so we've got resource abundance. We're never gonna run out of resources basically on this map. Okay, that is a little bit different. I wonder if the actual income speed is different. Let's take a look at these stonecutter dwarfs real quick. I don't think we've got the multiplier on that. Oh wait, it's not the gather speed, it's the drop off that gets raised up. No, it's just 2 rocks getting dropped, and then they still turn into a regular amount of resources. So no, we're fine, we're fine. It's just resource abundance, so the map doesn't run dry. Spectre being annoying here, but if Fawn is not careful, she will go down as the fire totem picks her off. We've got a little bit of orc action in the troll economy. And some scoundrel coming in as well to try to kill a hunter or two, which might be doable here. This guy will of course be killed by the base, it seems, but you know, getting a handful of worker kills is definitely worth everything. However, the hero goes down, so that's quite annoying there. For Mysterious Lantern, and Galactic is over level 3 already, so he's going for a very normal build here. On the Plaguebringer, we've got Plague Bolt, we've got Plague Disease, Feast on Disease, and just Brute Force. That's what pretty much everybody does all the time, right? Farlan on his Reaper is going pretty standard as well, putting a point into Arcane Force rather than a double point into Deep Waters, and getting his reanimate souls, of course. High Hierophant having to chug a lot of potions there. That's in fact her last potion. And she's gone full left tree with the crossbow skills, kill shots, gather shot ammunition, bone breaker. Totem of Flames is in, as well as a little bit of brute force. Dark Elf should probably rebuild this Dark Ants. Oh wait, it wasn't built. It wasn't built, so here it is. Definitely should upgrade that right now. to be able to hold against the dwarves. Once again, the Spectre does go down. And the dwarves are going to be building tall up front here. This is a contested base, so it makes a lot of sense to do it. Have more buildings there, have a stronger defense overall, and make sure that the spiders can't just go in and wreak havoc. Now Galactic has already taken this bottom sector, and I think the best thing he can do from here is actually just take the other one as well and leave the crossbow lady alone to do her own bidding. Eventually, with the scattershot ammunition, she will be able to get level 5 by herself. But if the Plague Bringer is assisting in the early action here, doubling up with the level 5 ability, that could make a huge difference. Dark Elves don't have any great defenses against that early on, and the Reaper also really needs level 5 to be truly functional. Love his staff, by the way, with the little magic stone. Very cool. It's a stonecutter, and we've already got a capital for Farland. That's the tier 2 building for the Dark Elves, and I don't see any production just yet, but we should be seeing Iron kick in fairly soon. It's just a Halls of Pain for the moment. It could be for infiltrators with their upgrade. They get invulnerable and they sprint real fast, but they can't attack in the process. So maybe it's for that, as that allows you to keep them safe against strong abilities, basically. It's very nice to run around with as well if you want to do a little bit of worker harassment. We have Fallen now powering up his economy, and it looks like Mysterious Lantern is interested in doubling up here, preventing the dwarves from expanding. Obviously, orcs really like having a lot of bases around, and they still didn't get these bottom ones, so that's still available. Going out on the map to grab the outer sectors is, generally speaking, a really good idea, though. Never took a look at the skills of Mysterious Lantern. We've got Totemic Might level 1, which gives these guys armored when they're near a totem. We've got Totem of Sparks and Healing Totem and Chain Lightning, Life Bloom and Triple Arcane Force here at level 4. But I do think these guys will now be able to... Yeah, Galactic is doing exactly what I said before. And the Plaguebringer also has his tier 3 armor, so he's looking good for the moment. Once again, the dwarves didn't take enough sectors or didn't upgrade them, having focused on this one and this one, leaving this sector open for grabbing. Now the Scoundrel end up in the Stonecutter economy, canceling this whole thing. Everybody drops their stone, and they're gonna actually attempt to go for the Town Hall. I don't think this should work, but it could work, because the Town Hall is not upgraded, right? This is just a tier 1 Town Hall. I think Galactic will have to come around to defend it with the Plaguebringer. Maybe a teleportation can be forced. Where is the Goblin Warlock anyway? Looks like just back here. There's plenty of Warg Riders coming along as well. Galactic's help is going to be needed for this one. And you know, once you're actually working on the Town Hall, you might as well be bringing the rest of the Scoundrel. Why are they multitasking right now? This is totally killable. And in fact, if Farland came in to help as well with all these tarantulas, I'm pretty sure they would have a full surround on the Town Hall. But now with the repair speed going a little bit bonkers, and the Scoundrel numbers dropping a little bit, it seems like this is in fact a hold. So not that much more for Lusty to worry about. It is costly to get that much repair going, but should be just fine, really. It's a little spooky. A little spooky. And we've got all these other Scoundrel attacking the scouting post. So that is a little bit problematic as well. Ooh, the Warg actually get the snipe on the Hierophant. And there's really not that much health left, but still... Mysterious Lantern is going to leave. However, there's so much population for Mysterious Lantern, near maxing out already. We've got Frontier Posts, we've got the Iron Mines coming in as well. And I remembered suddenly what I said last video, that I'm going to try disabling the overlays a little bit more often. When I click, it shows the cards anyway. So let's check that out a little bit. I'm still playing around with the idea of not showing what's behind the buildings, Like we've got this geometry fade out thing enabled in these casts. I think I'm gonna leave that on for the moment because it's nice to see what units are surrounding the bases, even though the base actually gets filtered out a bit by this. That's a lot of freaking warg. And the orcs are tier 2. So what I'm curious about is there gonna be an upgrade for those? The war pit is coming in, but there's nothing else for the moment. Galactic coming in to help. And like I said, this hero is level 5, so we should be seeing a Plague Orb from him momentarily. Skull Crushers at the moment doing a lot of work here against the otherwise weak Warg. Without their upgrade, they just cannot contest this. And it looks like they're gonna be absolutely stomped here. Might be even a level 6 for our hero. In fact, Galactic only needs a very little bit of experience now. 30 more XP, just a handful more units to kill. And he's got it. One more, come on. One more Warg, you can do it. There it is. And level 6. He also had the Plague Orb, I'm pretty sure. Yes, there it was. He's gonna go for Corpse Harvest as well. Level 2 of it. So there's all these corpses. If there's another attack here, whatever comes in there will be yeeted and deleted. Fallen going all the way to border fortresses. Yeah, several bases. He's getting close. He's also working on the iron income a little bit. There's an iron mine here. 2 more here. It's looking good. But so far his army is just Tarantula and a little bit of Infiltrator in there. And I don't think they have their abilities. Yeah, they don't. Upgrades are not coming in. We've got Aspire of Souls, however. We're seeing just a little bit of Echo. Which technically means Fallen might be able to get out a bunch of Balls of Steel. That'll be very useful against these Axe Wielders. Galactic having to hard carry right now. With Lusty being on so few sectors and fortified outposts for the Orcs being up. Hunters being made as well to back up the War Rider and Scoundrel composition, which isn't that good by itself. But it's cheap. And there's a lot of resources on this map, so you're really never worried about running out of these core resources as you normally would be. So Scoundrel can just go all day. Of course, you do need some better units eventually. I'm not sure why Fallen is retreating. Is he looking for a longer game? Is he worried about Galactic here? Yeah, he potentially doesn't want Galactic to just run over to the Orc main and destroy it. But I'm pretty sure both players would be able to go back and defend that just fine. Fallen actually spending a little bit of stone on large iron mines. Oh my god, Galactic is really just beelining for the main, isn't he? We've got teleportation home from our Orc player, but yeah, like I said, this is plenty of hunters now. Numbers are slowly climbing up, and we've got a level 5 Goblin Warlock, which means that it has unlocked Chain Lightning level 2. Now bouncing to 8 targets here. And the Reapers following along as well. So they should be able to double up on Galactic now. He also doesn't have that many sectors, but the Trolls don't necessarily need that many sectors. Galactic now on tier 2. Also upgrading these Eyes of the Tribe to Sharp Eyes. And maybe he'll get some higher tier units going soon. Not that these Skull Crushers aren't sufficient for the job at hand. In fact, the Infiltrators and Spiderinos are in... Oh! So much trouble, I was gonna say. They are, in fact, dead. Bound Inferno Golem trying to help as much as he can. Setting everybody ablaze nearby. But it's nowhere near enough. And Galactic is hugely successful in this fight. Still, plenty of Farland stuff is left over. A lot of Tarantulas, and if he can come around to collect these echoes, that would be great for his overall soul economy. But yeah, look at this. Galactic has just survived with so many units. He can come over here and smash the fortified outposts, no problem. Although it seems the Hunters have something to say about that. Pretty nice focus fire from them, but they get taken down by the Plaguebringer, who's now well on the way to level 8. wonder what he actually did pick with. Oof! Another corpse explosion, although that didn't do all that much work. There's not many targets here. One more point in brute force left. Then you can get feast on disease as well, or maybe even cannibalistic aura to further get empowers. Base is destroyed. And let's do a quick check of Galactic's infrastructure here. I'm gonna enable the thing now. He did have the 2 scrap hordes. It's nice to see. Lots of fight huts coming up for him. But I'm not seeing any tier 3 infrastructure just yet. So his workers are accumulating. I'm sure the transition is coming soon enough. Maybe we'll get to see moon temples. they're really not all that, right? You can make them and they can be just about worth it, but you would need like only farms. Infiltrator is doing quite a bit of work here together with the tarantulas, picking off some reinforcements. Very nice work. Our dwarves are severely underdeveloped, so they're tier 2, but they have very few bases, right? So the iron mines are coming in, but it's still just axe wielder production. Granted, they're gonna be doing a pretty good job of attacking buildings with their high 70 strike attacks. But I guess that is right now the best they can do. Plague beetles, yes! I do wonder if they're gonna be any good though. Fallen has a handful of them already, and well, obviously the axe wielders can't shoot up. So that's gonna be a nice little advantage, but the Hierophant is a bit of a risk for them. She can target multiple at once. Has a good amount of other abilities that can target them as well. I also don't think they're upgraded yet for bouncy attacks. Oh wait, they are. They have the bouncy attacks, so we have Mutalisk at home. However, they're just not very good at sieging with their low health. They're very much of a harassment unit, so you want to go in, you pick off some workers and get out. Maybe you can pick off a building and get out as well. Typically speaking, Dark Elves would just go into Sleepers so that they can siege buildings down. And Sleepers are also significantly tankier at... I think they have 1200 health, 1250. It's still really cool to see beetles. They're really underutilized as of late, and we just haven't gotten to see many of them. That should be a pretty big soul harvest if Farnham presses the button. He does not. Next time maybe. Oh yeah. This beetle business is not working out. Maybe this time? Yes! Here it comes. Oh. Not enough time to get the full activation. Galactic Smash. You doing a little trolling. Yeah, the man is at 173 population, his body only at 53, but we're seeing something similar on the other team, and with the Plague Beetles actually coming to help right now, that might be a pretty good move. See, Galactic doesn't have a whole lot of anti-air here, just a bunch of throwers. Granted, the Plaguebringer himself would have been good against the Plague Beetles, but he dead. One more thing here about 2v2s to consider is that Galactic can send his scrappers to the scrap locations, and his ally isn't actually using it because they're not a troll. So there's definitely advantages to having a mix of races in a 2v2 like this. One thing you could do, and this is crazy, but you could recycle an entire base. Oh god. You could recycle an entire base once resources are gone, if there's resources left for the other race to make use of. So for example, For example, the dwarves have some tier 3 resources here, Moon Silver ore. If they have an elf ally who wants to gather the Lenya leaves, then they can swap the base. Finally, we're seeing some Striders as well from Farlan. And that's a big soul harvest, oh my goodness. Whee! Just keeps going. Oh my god. 20 plus echoes. Very satisfying whenever that happens. I would like to see a Basilisk or two for Farlan just so that he can start sieging the bases. The Striders are nice. Very nice against these armies, but they can't really attack bases, can they? I like the beetle defense once again. Corpse Explosion didn't do all that much damage against them here, and the Plague Bearer seems to be going down. Good defense by the Dark Elf Orc Alliance here. And it seems that Galactic is just left without any tools to shoot up with. Having to retreat from this is gonna be awful, as the beetles are significantly faster than the trolls and they'll be able to pick them off with ease. But Farlan does have to be careful. Several of these beetles are very low already, and the Eye of the Tribe can be doing a lot of damage if it focuses the correct units. Thrower towers are being built as well at the same time, so the objective here right now is to destroy this thing as soon as possible. The orcs are trying to recuperate their numbers ditto, and putting down the totems actually ends up buffing the plague beetles and armoring them. And now all these thrower towers are just not gonna finish. Alright, Farlan is adding in twisted ones, in fact, after the plague beetles. There are also more dark temples. Looks like total of 4. Galactic ends up losing the scrappers, which he doesn't have a lot of. He doesn't have a lot of scrappers. Shrines to Mugwa are up though. I assume there's no moon temples in here. As much as I'd love to see it. Basically on a map that doesn't run out of resources, I don't think you're gonna need moon temples because you just keep hunting, right? You're never gonna need to swap everything over to farms, which is the only infinite resource. I guess you could say Echo is infinite and Scrap is infinite because it can be generated by the scrappers, but it's slow going. Very nice pick off by Farlan. He's got a monstrous army here with all these plague beetles and striders and whatnot. I think he should honestly consider engaging. Whoa, the trolls here, and I think he's gonna do it. Very nice smash from the wall breakers. Also, Corpse Explosion doing a lot of work. Now let's see what's exactly gonna happen here. Farlan did bring almost everybody, and Galactic has to get the hell out of here. But this gives the dwarves a small opportunity to push forward, although they would be pushing into Striders, Sleepers, Beetles, and Twisted Ones. Not exactly the best move. Wonder if the Twisted Ones have their upgrades. Looks like yes. So if the target is impaired or bleeding, they will be applying the Weakening Affliction, a 25% reduction in armor values, or resistances rather. And then the Striders, I'm not sure if they apply bleeding just yet. It doesn't look like they do. We'll see in a moment. But they get bonus damage. They get 250 damage when the target is bleeding and 175 if not. Their upgrade is to make them apply bleeding, otherwise you have to get it from the Sleepers, which do apply bleeding to begin with, and their upgrade is to give them cleaving damage so that they'll target 3 units at the same time. Okay, the bleeding is not in just yet. It's the Sleepers doing it. Trolls managing to destroy yet another base. It doesn't seem like Mysterious Lantern was ever able to recuperate numbers. You kind of need a lot of stuff here for the Orcs to be able to beat this back. The Flesh Eaters especially being a troublesome unit for the Orcs to manage with all this magic damage and a little bit of pure damage as well, which is their leeching. They also have their stinky auras, I'm pretty sure, here, which is an impairment for enemies. Loving the Plague Beetle raid from Farden. He's getting on top of the scrap horde right there. And could destroy a lot of infrastructure here for Galactic. Slowing down the Trolls, but the Trolls are, man, they're taking over everything. What can you do to beat Trolls? You make Trolls, of course. The War Troll doing quite a bit of work here, but the numbers just aren't there. For the Fortress, not enough. Bound Inferno Golem and War Trolls, not enough. And with these guys not having any magical defense, they just melt to this kind of army. Beetles have done quite a bit of work. I think if they can be combined with the army, that would be great. But once again, their fragility comes to show its ugly head, as the bases are sniping them super easily. So you gotta be really careful with those things. One thing to keep in mind, that on maps like this, you can exist in these outer areas. Like the Flyers can get out here and just chill. You don't necessarily need to fly through the bases, right? So you can take the long way around. Even up here you can fly. Map does not stop you. There's so much stuff here as well. What's that? Nothing. Nothing to be mindful of. The border fortress might be destroyed here. There is a Dark Elf army on the way. So I think this should be able to defend it. Let's see if the Kiss of Nor can go through on the zombies, but it doesn't look like it. Still, the Dark Elf army is just fantastic here, and the Dwarves really don't stand a chance with still having a good number of Axe Wielders in there. Of course, the Berserkers, the Earthshapers, and the Sentries are the right kind of move to make. But it seems to me that Farden's army is just better right now. Weakening is on. Kiss of Nor does go through, but it hits the Earthshapers while their shields are up. So that's giving them a 20% resistance increase. Kind of offsetting the weakening that the Reaper can do. At least to a degree. He's got Corruption level 2, which is a 37% at the moment. But it looks like the Orc main needs to be saved. We are still not in the territory where somebody gets a Titan to help out. So this Orc main is actually in a lot of trouble right now. Farden doing what he can to help, but his army isn't even big enough. There's a bunch of green dots on the map coming over, but is that going to be sufficient? The Grand Karak is doing a lot of work on these wall breakers, targeting the weak ones first, which is exactly how things should be going. Kiss of North should be going down here in the middle of the troll army. The Grand Karak is kind of getting defended here. Oh, Galactic's hero is toast. He won't be able to teleport out anymore. But does he need to? The Reaper is dead. And I guess the Grand Karak did repair itself enough. So Farden once again saved the day. Very nice job there. But he does lose a base to the dwarves, who now have fire golems and everything. So that will help their sieging efforts a lot here. By the way, there is a nice little Easter egg on this map with a little bit of a recreation of the Lion King, or whatever this is. But yeah, all the animals are here, even the big dragons from the campaign, the Mega Wyverns and the Baby Wyverns. Yeah, sick. That's a good amount of harvesters, I would say. They'll be the Dark Elf meat shield going forward, harvesting all the echo in the world. Border Fortress should be holding for the moment, and as usual, the Plague Beetles are going to be a good counter to anything that can't shoot up, such as the Fire Golems here. They're also pretty immobile, so they can't exactly run away. But the numbers are no longer in favor of Farlan. In fact, Lusty is kind of working up a big population. Farlan is going down to just 92 population. And although the orcs are coming over to help, smashing down the scouting post, Farlan's army is kind of getting traded away with the dwarfs here. Good news for him though is that the Twisted Ones have drained the focus of everybody. There's not going to be any Berserker abilities, there's not going to be any Earthshaper abilities, and he's going to get a big Soul Harvest for his troubles. As long as he has the food, he'll be able to make these advanced tier 3 units, Twisted Ones. I would like to see a handful of other stuff as well. But whoa, here comes the big Soul Harvest. Oh my goodness. Whoa, 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 whoa. That must have been like 50 plus souls. I was gonna say, I'd like to see a bunch of Emissaries of Nor. It's been a long time since I've had them on one of these casted matches. Do miss him, do miss him. Love the addition of War Trolls here, but with all this magical damage floating around, would be a little bit problematic to keep them all alive. So, I think what should happen is Farlan targets the army, and the War Trolls target the border fortress, and hopefully that way the guys can make a little bit of headway so that the game can continue a bit longer. But very nice to see this kind of late game, and interesting choice with the resource count being up high. Normally games last under an hour. Hour-long games count as very long, so they don't always happen. Certainly not. Average game length is like 15-20 minutes. Sometimes even less, if it's quite one-sided. Yeah, the trolls once again are out of control, man. You've got bone hexers and they're eating corpses. That's the little stacks that you can see on them. The blood power buffs their attacks, basically. And Galactic took over yet another base. Farlan needs to come over to help, because this is going to be a huge disaster if he doesn't. Oh no, I think the harvesters weren't all going to teleport there. But yeah, he does arrive in the end. And it's got a lot of Twisted Ones. Granted, the trolls are quite resistant against magic with the bone hexers here, whereas the Twisted Ones have just a lot less health. They're also going to have to deal with cleaving attacks from them. Hero's already toast. Not a great start to this. Corpse explosion didn't seem to do anything here. But the disease is going to end up taking out the Twisted Ones, which is funny because they're already... they're necromantic units, so what's going on there exactly? They can get sick? Okay. Grand Karak is potentially going to be sniped now. Farlan is trying very hard to defend, sniping the important units first. Like the Bone Hexers, like the Wall Breakers. Health is staying stable on the Grand Karak. The repair speed is pretty good on these high tier buildings, so not too much to worry about just yet. But as the orcs are losing base after base, I'm not sure how much longer they can contribute. Mysterious Lantern just does not have the iron to make good units and has to end up making the little guys, Scoundrel over there, who are gonna just absolutely melt away against the trolls. Let's take a quick look at equipments. Galactic hasn't been shopping in a long time, but he's got himself Noria's Command, which is a very powerful amulet increasing attack and ability damage. Oh my god. The Big Daddy is here. Oh my god, Siphon is even picked by Farlan, but it's only level 1 for now. Level 2 will be great because it will give him an Empower, but the Broodfather will give him a lot of little spiderlings. Now this is going to be interesting, but the big fight is starting before this big boy arrives here. Definitely should retreat and keep the army safe for the arrival of the Titan and have the Titan tank a lot. We've also got Basilisks in case there's a Titan war. So many war trolls, considering the poor economy of our of our orcs. Where is the big boy? Ah, he's not coming. That's not great. Still looks like the Dark Elves will be able to handle this with the help of Striders and Twisted Ones. A very good combination. Unfortunately, the War Trolls are all dead. But you know, if Farlan goes in to have the fight with Galactic and Lassie right now, I think he can actually take it despite being low population. He's got these super high quality units, and the Broodfather is a hell of a tank. Level 10 is unlocked on the Reaper hero. Let's see if Fallen did end up picking up Siphon 2. Nope, but he does have points available. He's also got blood armor. So he's overall fairly comfortable here. As I say that, his hero is toast. Seems he didn't apply blood armor there. Where's the Spiderlings? Galactic seems to be losing his entire army. Although he's 200 population still, with a lot of units just having been made. He's bringing over Smashers, but they should be really queuing to the Hex camp at this point. Doesn't have, however, a lot of offerings right this moment, and the mass of Basilisk is just pushing forward, deleting these buildings like they're absolutely nothing, which they are at this point. They are nothing. Absolutely gone. What a great siege unit, one of the most powerful ones in the game. Especially if you can combine them with weakening effects such as that of the Reaper or the Twisted One. Such a powerful unit when you use it correctly. The Spiderlings are about to spawn and will be producing even more echoes eventually. All ready for Fallen to harvest, as long as he can keep his echo high and make these advanced units. Everything will be just fine and dandy. 166 population all of a sudden, but our orcs are down to just 29, so they really need these bases developed as soon as possible. And if Farden can keep pushing and taking over these iron bases, which obviously the trolls aren't even touching, not that it would matter because, like, resource wise we're still very fine. 2400 iron left in this base that Farden is harvesting from, with essentially 4 iron mines. I know that was 3 of them, but one of them was upgraded, so same thing. Yep, Basilisk absolutely deleting everything. All they need now is a front line, and I think Mysterious Lantern should be able to provide that. Galactic looks like he's being pushed back all the way to his main, with lots of soul harvesting happening here. Whoa, 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 here it comes. I wish there was a follow cam for the Echo. That would be so cinematic. I could just turn off the UI and have it followed. I'm doing my best here. Sharp Eye of the Tribe after Sharp Eye of the Tribe. Fallen's just destroying everything. Our orcs are losing a lot of bases up north to the dwarves, however, and the dwarf unit composition is also starting to be pretty good. Plenty of fire golems in there, plenty of berserkers, and the only thing missing at this point is tunnels. Don't think you particularly need balloons at this point, because the twisted ones would be just too damaging for those, as well as the striders are way too much to deal with together. Ah, there we go. Emissaries of Nor. Finally. These guys can summon some skellies wherever there's Echo. Of course, it destroys the Echo, but hey, 3 units, right? And they have a super powerful magic attack, so there is that. Being flying keeps them safe. That's a lot of Bone Hexers for Galactic all of a sudden. Let's see if Fallen can handle it. Has to be really careful with that Reaper. Ideally put on blood armor or something. The weakening does go through. But all the dwarves are coming in. And that's a very big danger for Fallen. But look at that. Look at the War Troll rush coming in right now. Stomping on these Skull Crushers and other actual troll units. These troll slaves can knock them down pretty good. Well, not knock them down. You can't knock down the troll, but you can stagger them. ends up being a little stun. All these basilisks doing so much work, there's not much weakening on the enemies, but when there's this many, I'm not particularly sure you need it. They do have 75% siege resist, of course. Titan is staying alive for the moment, tanking a lot of the damage. Fallen lost so much of his population, but much of it is being remade still. A lot of them is in the back, with the harvesters not having done too much tanking, but they are harvesting what they can. Spiderlings are being summoned up, but the dwarves and the skull crushers together, the Misk trolls together are just a little bit too much. Fallen has to pull back, although there's a lot of green coming across the map, as you guys can tell. Maybe as they reinforce that could work out. Eating a bunch of corpses. By the way, when the trolls eat some corpses, they do disappear, and the echo is consumed as well. So it does deny Farlan a little bit of resources when they do this. Vice versa, when Farlan gathers up the echo, the corpses disappear, so that the trolls can't actually eat them up. So in a sense, it's the same resource, but it's processed differently. Broodfather is going to be destroyed, but perhaps Fallen can make another. The addition of more Striders will be very important right now for Fallen. I do think he overmade Basilisks. There's not much weakening he can deliver if the targets aren't bleeding. So that's going to be very important to figure out soon. Oh my god, the corpse explosion just killed 3 Basilisks at least. And whatever else was in between there. Assume it was some twisted ones, but Fallen's down to 138 pop. This is very problematic, but as he's killing these more advanced trolls, the reinforcements on other smashers, that's not gonna cut it, I don't think. The emissaries of Nor are doing their business from up high, but there's plenty of ranged units to deal with them for the moment. The Reaper is very far back and isn't helping with weakening right now, or bleeding, or anything like that. Might see a Kiss of Nor in the middle there. Okay, there's a weakening, but there's no more army. So no one left to take advantage of this. The combined forces of the dwarves and trolls are just a little bit too much. And once again, the goblin warlock is dead. Orcs are essentially devastated right now, at just 24 population left for them, and only a handful of bases with this one never having been captured. They're finally making some shamans, which will help a lot, in my opinion, but yeah, even this base is being destroyed right now by fire golems. There's no way it will stay up. Fallen did manage to build up a decent army once again, and this time he does have blood armor worth 1250 health, essentially. And maybe he can do a little counterattack here. Taking down the dwarves might be easier at this point, forcing a teleport out of them. As long as Galactic doesn't follow, it should be just fine. Unfortunately, the Basilisk isn't attacking. And this group is still plenty strong if they just want to go for the next border fortress. Looks like the orcs are still largely relying on war trolls knocking down enemies, and then Fallen doing the actual damage work. As these guys, they have a big number here, right? But 250 of that is actually siege damage. So it's pretty well resisted, and it's only really good against buildings. Not that the stuns and the knockdowns are bad. They are pretty damn good, actually. Well, that golem disappeared real quick. And this is what I mean. These guys just don't have magic resist, so they disappear. Balls of Steel, that's a good idea. Fallen's trying to gain some ground in order to be able to 1v2 this for a little bit. He doesn't want to engage a 400 population army naturally. So he's doing what he can to destroy these bases for now. And when he feels powerful enough, or when he's defending the Grand Karak, in addition to all these watchtowers, he can bring in the army. And maybe that would be enough. Keeping the dwarves on very low sector counts here is his mission right now. But if Galactic and Lusty get rid of Mysterious Lantern, that would be very problematic. So the Dark Elves do come in. Let's see if they can actually defend this with the help of all the buildings. Mysterious Lantern on only 5 population, not even the hero is out. So it's really all down to Fallen right now, plus the buildings doing the work. It also does a little bit of clogging here. So the army isn't as efficiently spread out as maybe Galactic and Lusty would like them to be. A little weakening going down on the army, so once again the Basilisks aren't doing that much damage. Fallen dropping down to just 100 population, and I'm not sure that he can rebuild this army once again. He does have resources for now, but the food is running low. And even though we see the Congo line of green coming across the map, it won't last much longer. I think it's time for Galactic and Lusty to take down these watchtowers and finally go for the Grand Karak, as there's really very not much in the way. Very not much. That's... You should subscribe for that. I have more words like this for you. They're in there somewhere. Anyway. Can this Ground Karak be held somehow? It seems so impossible. Galactic is at 200 population. A huge blob of Smashers is ready to go. He's just gonna send them in. There's no Hex Camp business at all. Oh boy. This thing is down to half health. Fallen isn't here to help. The Goblin Warlock's toast. There's no Reaper coming either. I'm not sure what they would even bring. The scattered units are mostly just harvesters, so it's not like they can fight. It does look like the Grand Karak will be destroyed, ladies and gentlemen. Very bad news of Mysterious Lantern and Fallen. Can they hold? I mean, it doesn't seem completely impossible. Look, the Basilisks are actually summoning corpses there. Or creating corpses so that the Emissary of Nor can summon them without using Echo. Interestingly, the weakening is actually getting applied to... The enfeeble getting applied to the corpses for whatever reason. And there's the Reaper. Oh my goodness, the Grand Karak is held. You are kidding me. There is no freaking way that just happened. Oh my god, Lusty is essentially on super low population, life support basically. But does have a good amount of resources. For whatever reason, the Berserkers don't yet have their shiny axes, as I don't think any tier 3 resource has been gathered just yet. No, nothing there. The Moonsilver is already eaten up. What? No, the buildings are just empty. It's not eaten up. That would be wild if it was. Well, Fallen up to 75 population, and this is an army. It's not great, but it's something. The quality of it is certainly good. And they could fight these dwarfs. Fighting Galactic is another story. Oh god. Or a god's cub. Uh-oh. So this guy is pretty good, you could say. He's got high pure damage as the others. He's got the Mugwa's Rage ability, which creates massive AoEs. These guys have got to be careful. But one thing that the Titan is weak against is actually siege damage, as it only resists 25% of it, and you can weaken that with the Reaper and Twisted Ones. So all these Basilisks could be doing a lot of work. And we're gonna see a teleport out from Fallen, knowing that he needs to keep himself safe. One thing also that the Mugwa's Cub is great at is it's faster than the other Titans, so really stompy stomp. Oh my god, oh my god! That's the biggest soul harvest I've ever seen. Not even close. Not even close. Hundreds of souls finding their new home here. Whoa. I see Fallen make great use of them. This is gonna be one epic fight coming right up. Weakening is through on the Mugwas Cup, minus 22% siege resist right now. But there's not that many basilisks to capitalize with, and the emissaries of Nor themselves are rather weak. Okay, there are basilisks coming. What? Oh my god, I missed it! The Vortros! It's just like Galactic. He missed it as well. The Vortros have made it in somehow, and they smashed his main. He didn't notice. I didn't notice. No freaking way, dude. Here I am, focused on the Titan, which he must have been as well. And these glorious soul harvests. Whoa, 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 whoa. Beautiful. But yeah, the Vortros have done the work, and the game ends because Lusty has resigned against the two players who significantly outnumbered him at this point. That was crazy. I cannot believe I just missed that. Well, so did you guys. Right? No? I need your power. Like and subscribe so that next time I don't miss a base getting destroyed and the player getting eliminated. That would be great. Also send me replays. Thanks very much. See you next time.